It's me again. They dropped the feed for some reason. I don't know if it's like my Wi-Fi or what, but I seem to have lots of trouble with that. I had lots of trouble before, and I had some great questions on my feed from the last broadcast. So if you had those questions, please tell me again what they were. I was talking about GI bacteria and the importance of keeping those guys really healthy. I was also talking about, and how you do that is by having lots of fruits and vegetables. So I talked more about gut health in the previous video, so definitely check that out. I do want to kind of get back to, hi Maricel, thanks for coming over. I'm sorry that it keeps dropping the video. I'm gonna get this fixed before next time. I don't know what's going on. I guess I should call the cable company. Who knows? I looked it up and they said that there was no time limit as to how long these are supposed to go. So, hey Angela, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I know, I'm laughing too. Angela has a laughing face. I don't know why I keep having so much trouble. I'm giving you a thumbs up. Hi Rosa, thanks for coming. I'll get this figured out someday. You're doing great. Thank you, Maricel. Okay, keep going. So I was talking about GI bacteria, and I lost my train of thought. So I'm going to go back to my notes about, I took a screenshot. I would love to know what that screenshot was. So please post it. I want to see. Maybe it was me doing this again. Okay, GI bacteria linked to inflammation. Absolutely. That was Rosa's question. It absolutely is. They are finding that our GI bacteria has a greater role in our overall health than they ever thought, for multiple reasons. One of them is it helps break down our food, and it releases a lot of the vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, all of those things to allow them to be absorbed. And that allows us to then use those things to have a metabolism that works well, helps our insulin work efficiently, like a million different reasons that those phytochemicals or those nutrients are so important. Sasha asked, does GI bacteria block the absorption of iron? No, it actually helps with the absorption of all nutrients, all vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals. So having really good fruits and vegetables, or really good healthy GI bacteria, helps that to happen. They've actually found a link between GI bacteria, what kinds of GI bacteria we have, to body size. So people who are obese have a certain type of GI bacteria, and people who are leaner also have GI bacteria. And they've done a certain type of GI bacteria, and they've actually done some fecal transplants, which sounds gross and I'm not going to get into today, but from people who are obese into thin people, and they have gained weight, and vice versa. So doing fecal transplants the other way, and obese people who have fought weight for forever have been able to start losing weight. So they are very important. Okay, Magda says, what if we can't eat fruits and vegetables? There are some medical conditions that eating fruits and vegetables are really hard, but for most people, having fruits and vegetables can cause some GI upset in the beginning, because when the bad bacteria starts to die, or the bacteria that are used to breaking down simple carbohydrates start to die off, there is a big increase in the gas production. Also, when more of the good bacteria starts to grow, that will really help, that will also produce gas, but that is temporary, and the benefits are far outweigh the negative things. Okay, so Sausage says, chronic anemia. Iron doesn't stay in me. A wonderful family doctor is working with me, but I really want it to go away. Sasha, it does sound like there are some special circumstances for you. There are some foods that you can eat with iron-rich foods that help the absorption more. Send me an email and we can talk about we can talk about that more. So please contact me and we will talk more about that. Pia says, I need a transplant of GI bacteria. Who wants to donate? They are actually looking into doing, they mainly do those fecal transplants for medical cases now, but I've heard that they may start doing it more as time goes on for regular Joes. Okay, so are probiotics helpful with GI bacteria? Absolutely. So there is something called probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics are actually the bacteria that you take that colonize your GI tract, and that is so helpful to take those, especially during times of antibiotic use or right after. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, like with all of the poop comments coming coming on. So okay, so probiotics are the bacteria that you take in pill form or sprinkle on your food. There are also the prebiotics, and prebiotics are actually what feed the bacteria, and that is what I was talking about before. Lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of high fiber foods. Also, like oats are really good, quinoa, those are very good. Okay, so I've kind of gotten off of I had a schedule written down and I've kind of gotten off track with all of this GI bacteria talk, but it's actually totally up like my alley, because I love talking about GI bacteria. So many jokes to be made here. I know. Monicel, I bet you're just dying to let some poop jokes fly. Okay, so I do want to go back a little bit to kind of the nuts and bolts of of weight loss, which GI bacteria is actually very important to weight loss. Another piece of weight loss is getting creating a plan so understanding your why. Why is this important to you? And that allows you to create a workable plan. So you create a workable plan and commit to yourself to that plan. Commitment is something that we really, really struggle with, as especially as women. I don't know if there are any men here on the broadcast, but we as women, it is very ingrained in us that we should put everybody else first, and that really eats into the commitment that we keep with ourselves. And what I mean by that is, if you commit to eating a fruit every morning, if that is step one for you, do it and make it happen and execute. And if you don't execute consistently, figure out why. Figure out what that gap is. That gap will give you so much information about what is going on in your mind to keep you from creating your goals. And that actually is the same whether you are wanting to lose weight, or you are wanting to write a book, or you're wanting to change jobs, or change is change. And when there is something that we want, but we don't execute on it, that is a really important conversation to figure out why. So once we have figured out our why of why we want change, then we figure out what the plan is. How can we achieve that? How do we lose weight? Eating fruits and vegetables, exercising 5 times per week, starting maybe once a week, and then committing to ourselves on a regular basis. Then we can kind of start figuring out what is, sorry, it's very distracting reading all of the comments. I will get better at this as time goes on. So what are y'all's questions about creating plans and making a commitment? So let's see. Let's see. Sasha says, whoops. I work with the youth. If there is one thing you would want to see them eating more of, what would it be? Vegetables, for sure. Kids complain, but it's only because they're not used to doing that. And they're also so used to eating high sugary foods that don't have that sugary flavor are very yucky to them. But that is just conditioning. It is just habit. So that can be changed for sure. Okay, whoops. Oh, good. Facebook said, great conversation. 25 comments and counting. Hooray, guys. Thank you guys for coming again. I know what to eat. I know how to exercise, but my feelings are getting in the way. Yes, Pia, that is definitely the biggest piece of change that we find. It is, and it's all about our conversations that we're having with ourselves. Why do we keep talking ourselves out of working out or getting that salad? And it could be that we have just linked the a negative to those positive actions. So like getting salad, we know is a good choice for us rather than a burger, but we say things like, oh, but it's so blah, blah, blah. Well, that is a thought, and that keeps us stuck. So if we can very consciously create new thoughts, new positive thoughts around the changes that we want to make, that is hugely powerful. Okay, does that make sense? And we will talk more about that. So this is actually a great time. I want to tell you, if you guys like this information, I am having an Empowered Warrior Academy starting on June 1st. It is a 6-week academy that addresses all of these things. Creating change, creating a plan. What is going to work for you? What feels really good? What is going to like meet the goal, meet your why? And then also creating strategy around that. And that could be new habits, that could be new thoughts, all of these things. And we really spend 6 weeks digging into what it is that you want to change your life. It could be weight loss. It could be changing up careers. It could be understanding why the relationships in your life aren't meeting your needs and how to change them so they do. Registration is open now, and I would love for you to join us. It is already filled with some amazing women that are just going to make good changes, and it's going to be so fun. So let me know if you have more questions, and sign up today. Sorry. I had to say that. I don't know. It felt like the right thing to do. Okay. Back to questions. Sasha said, commitments equals sacrifice. I'm a bad sacrificer. Well, and so 2 things I would say to that. One of them is, that could be that you have lots of negative links to the positive action. So, sacrifice to me sounds really negative, like that's gonna make you feel bad, and that is just a habitual thought that you have thought about that particular action that can totally be changed. So if you can just be aware of the way you are thinking about the foods that you quote unquote need to eat, or the action that you need to take, and associate that with like, this salad is going to taste really good and I'm going to really feel good about it. And on the flip side, say things like, that burger, it may taste good now, but it's going to make me feel bad. Or that cheesecake actually makes me feel bad. And also we as a society have gotten so used to meeting all of our instant gratification needs that that is just our habit. If we can identify that and be more forward thinking, and really get out of meeting every need, and that is actually a muscle. So instant gratification is quick and easy. Being more forward thinking and putting off that gratification until a later time, or being able to meet those emotional needs through a more positive means than maybe what we've done before, is just a muscle that we have to exercise. So that was kind of a long answer to that question. Okay. Pia said, with feelings, I mean stress, I stress eat. I give so yes. So Pia used the word addiction in food, and that is a really good description, because we get a lot of physiological, emotional feedback from what we eat, especially foods that are triggering for us, like sugar and salt. So we actually get a dopamine letdown by eating high sugar foods like cookies, cakes, things like that. Also, just the anticipation of those things is a big draw for us. Emotionally, it is very appealing. And so first thing is really being aware that that is how you soothe yourself, and being very conscious of when your trigger times are. That's why journaling is so helpful. And then also start brainstorming what you can do. Like for me, nighttime is a time that like I've kind of had a big day. I've had lots of emotions, both good and bad. And so like 5 o'clock, I start getting that like like, I gotta have something, I need something, blah, 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 blah. And so I can very easily find myself in the pantry just kind of like nibbling out of things like that. So I have to be very mindful about what I'm doing and make a conscious choice to do something different. So you can't just stop doing something. You actually have to change the framework and put new framework in. So we are getting right at about 20 minutes. And this is where the video dropped last time. So if it drops off, just find me again. I'm so sorry about that. So creating new framework to replace the old framework is really how change happens. So this could be like, at night I will drink like a carbonated water with lime or lemon. I also like to drink tea. You could drink herbal tea if caffeine is bad for you, or even going for a walk. Okay. Okay. My problem is, let's see. Tanya says, problem is not as much about comfort eating, but eating too little. There can be days that I hardly eat, but you are not hungry and forget. Yes. And that is something that, and I don't know if you forget and then just continue on normally, or you forget and then you're just super, super hungry and so you eat a ton. I always call that the hungries get you. And I will do that. I will get busy and then it's 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten since my shake at breakfast. So, if that is a habit, support yourself in a way by doing alarms. Like I will set an alarm to get up and stretch or drink my water. I actually do that quite a bit. Okay, so Katarine says, I wish I could join. I actually have a coupon code for the Empowered Warrior Academy on the Joyful Warrior site. So let me know. Okay, Sasha says, is going meatless a fad or does it actually affect your health? Everybody has different opinions of that. My own personal opinion is that we, when meat is our main source of our diet, it really causes us to exclude some of the other foods that will give us lots of really important benefits, like fruits and vegetables. So if we really focus on having a huge portion, a really big portion of our dinner be a high fiber, high nutrient food, then that will just by default decrease our meat. Does that make sense? So it's not that meat is bad. It's just that I feel like with the high protein trend, that really caused us to devalue some of the foods that really give us the most bang for our buck, especially around weight loss. Good question. Okay, my bad habit is coffee. Girl, me too. No. Coffee is actually fine. It is actually one of the highest, the places where Americans get the highest amount of antioxidants. And you can drink up to four cups per day safely. And they've done lots of studies on this. It actually increases your metabolism too. So having too much, like not great, but it's fine to have it every day. And in fact, it can be good, like I said. Okay, so let's see. Magda says, I'm addicted to sweets. Sweets is really a habitual thing. It probably isn't linked to minerals that you are missing. It could be. It is more likely linked to the types of bacteria that you've cultured in your diet or in your GI tract and that feed off of those foods. So really look at that. And then also it's habitual. if you are used to feeding that comfort need with sugar, which actually makes us feel better because we do get a dopamine letdown, just being aware and like maybe finding changes that you could do with that. Okay. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for coming. Tanya joined us again. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit behind on my thing. Rebecca joined. Yeah, so Yvette says, are you nervous or distracted? A little bit of both, I think. This is like, I don't really do very many of these videos or live events, but I am fully behind pushing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone. And so over the last couple months, I have really been doing that. And that actually leads me to a great point that I want to encourage all of you to do, either through your weight loss journey or through all areas of your personal expansion, is really getting out of your comfort zone. We as adults, like kids, are always learning and doing and experimenting and being okay with not being perfect. But as adults, we very often don't give ourselves the opportunity to be uncomfortable. But uncomfortable is where we excel. And that is where we expand and we get better and we learn. And so unless we are willing to put ourselves in the uncomfortable space, we will be stuck where we are. And where we are may not be bad, but if there is something that you want to change or expand, start being okay with being uncomfortable. Get comfy with being uncomfy, because that is truly where greatness is created. One thing about expanding and being part of being your best self is creating a really good support network to help you be that way. Because there are going to be people out there that don't understand, don't appreciate your personal growth, all of these things. And so creating a situation where you can be around people that appreciate you for your growth, also you for who you are and who you want to become, is so important. And I created a group of warriors just for that purpose, so that we can support each other and inspire each other, because at the end of the day, we thrive together. And that is actually also a really important component of this Empowered Warrior Academy. I really wanted, so that was actually born out of this 30-day warrior challenge that we're going to start June 1st. I wanted a way for you guys to get as much out of that experience as possible. And so I started thinking, what do we need? One, accountability. We don't have enough good accountability in our life because everybody's doing their thing. So it's nice to have people in your corner that are just there to make you, to be great and make you great. And so I wanted to create a culture of accountability. I also wanted to give you guys some new knowledge about what it takes to create change in your life. So this course is all about accountability, creating knowledge, creating shifts in asking questions. How is this working for you? What can be different? What is your vision for the future? How can this be different for you? And then also, I want you guys, or I want the Empowered Warriors to create accountability groups, to meet regularly so you can talk about what is going right, what isn't going right, and then like weekly, we will meet as a group and talk about what has worked for us, the topic for the week, all of those things. So, a couple more questions are coming in. Sasha, yay, coffee! I know, I'm a big coffee drinker. I used to drink like 6 to 8 cups of coffee per day. I've cut that way down, way down. Okay, Rebecca's here, Zarna's here. Hi, Zarna, she's my neighbor. Hello. Rosa. Okay, thank you, Rosa. You're awesome too. Okay, Maricel. She says, you mentioned sweets. I don't use added sugar, but artificial sweeteners are in my drinks. How do they impact my metabolism or my weight loss journey? Oh, good question. This is such a good question. And they totally impact your weight loss journey. They used to think that insulin only got released if sugar caused the cascade effects in our small intestine. But that is not true. Insulin starts to be, the hormone cascade of insulin actually starts to be released as sweet things touch our mouth. And so by eating sweet things constantly, that will actually, it will cause us to start to release insulin and all of those different hormones that are like related to that. Insulin actually causes us to store fat more. And so by having lots of increases of insulin spikes due to sweet things or refined carbohydrates or sugar or this, it actually causes our bodies to hold on to fat more easily and store what we eat more easily. Does that make sense? So really cut out those artificial sweeteners. And also, like I said, this weight loss journey has two components. Not only is it what we eat, the actual structural pieces of what we eat, it is how we interact with the food. So if you are constantly needing that sweet thing, you are feeding the emotional need that you have for those foods. And so by only taking out the calories that are associated with sweet things, it actually it is detrimental to our emotional shift that we have to make these changes really long lasting. So good question. Megan joined and Emily joined. Thank you guys for coming. Diana asked, good to see you. Good to see you too. What kind of food should you avoid at night? Something not heavy but healthy. What kinds of food should you avoid at the night? Okay. So I've done lots of research on whether or not you should eat at night, and there's a whole group of people who think that you shouldn't eat after a certain time. There is a little bit of research to support our circadian rhythms and how that affects our metabolism. But I feel like the biggest reason why people have success when they stop eating after a certain point is emotionally related. Because for most people, like myself, nighttime is the time when I snack and I need that food or that sugary thing or whatever. And so by creating a rule for yourself that says, I can't eat after this point, and sticking to it, it just decreases your calories by a certain amount. So it just kind of depends. And also, if you eat really high sugar foods at night, it starts that insulin spike, and it often makes us more hungry in the morning? So good question. And I actually have some dietitians who just joined, so it's making me a little bit nervous. Just because like I know that this is all correct, but having peers in the room always adds another level of for real, right? Okay, so Magda says, what diet is good for weight loss? So like I said, limiting carbohydrates for sure. Carbohydrates as in like breads, cereals, pastas, rice, limiting those and increasing, but not avoiding fruits and vegetables, carbohydrates, and then eating foods. So basically a weight loss diet is lower in carbohydrates, high in fruits and vegetables, or refined carbohydrates, low in refined carbohydrates, high in fruits and vegetables, and slightly higher in protein and the good types of fats. So like the good types of fats are lots of olive oil, coconut oil, all of those things. So good question. Good question. Okay. Sasha says that she is a cereal snacker before bed. How is that working for you, I guess I would ask. So if it's fine, then good. But think of eating as an opportunity to love and nourish your body. So if at night you want a snack and you are wondering what to get, maybe thinking about how can I nourish my body in the best possible way right now. So cereal may not be the most nutrient dense, but like maybe having some sliced fresh peaches with a drizzle of fresh cream is actually a really good thing. I know lots of people eat peanut butter. Peanut butter is very calorie dense, and that's totally fine. But maybe having a little bit less with maybe half an apple, and that way you are still feeding that need, but in the best possible way. Okay. Yvette says, supplements, are they good or bad? I'm guessing that you mean like vitamin mineral supplements, and they are definitely not bad. I would prefer you getting as much from your diet as possible, but giving a little boost is great. So there's lots of talk about antioxidants, and that is true. You can supplement antioxidants, but there's so much more in food, like fruits and vegetables, again, that we get that go beyond the vitamins and minerals, the phytochemicals, and we can't supplement that. So vitamins and minerals are basically like the building blocks to a lot of our body systems. The phytochemicals act to optimize them. So that is what we can't supplement. Okay? Let's see. Amanda joined us. Thanks for coming. How healthy is dried fruit? Dried fruit is okay. Fresh fruit is better. But it does add a good amount of sweet delicious to your nut mixes and things like that. So I want to be mindful of time, and we are right at 12 o'clock, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I hope you have too. If we have more questions, I will go through and see if I can answer a few more, but I have loved talking to you, and I really hope to do this more often. It was really fun. I love to answer questions and share my knowledge, because I know that that food and nutrition and weight loss, it can be such a mucky atmosphere. So I hope that this has helped you get more information. So please follow me. I will do this more often, and also share this with your friends. Last couple things. There are a few more days open to join the Empowered Warrior Network or Warrior Academy. It is going to be an amazing 6 weeks, filled with inspiration and change, and it is going to be awesome. Also starting June 1st is the 30-Day Warrior Challenge. What this is 30 days where we are empowering ourselves to be the best version of us. It is actually 3 components, and I have a link on my website. But it is doing something empowering every day. It could be exercise. That is my favorite way of empowering of myself, but also having fun. We don't have fun enough in this in our life. I know that I get busy working and I get busy taking care of my family and all of the must-dos that I sometimes forget to have fun. So this is a 30 days that you give yourself permission to empower yourself every day in whatever way feels good to you. Go on walks, take naps, sleep in, go to a painting class, whatever works for you. Second component is really creating a good network. I am encouraging you to either join the Warriors group. They are an amazing group of women who support and encourage each other so we can thrive together. Post there. That is a good way to get out and connect. But also start connecting in your community. This is great. I love this. But we as humans get so much out of interpersonal connection. So get out there, find people to support you, find like-minded people. Another component of this is giving back. I feel like life is richest when we give of our gifts. So every day, set an intention of how can I give today? How can I sprinkle kindness? How can I create the best situation for me and everyone else around me? Third or fourth component is personal growth. This is what I was talking about earlier. Get out of your comfort zone. Life is boring in your comfort zone. We thrive on growth. As human beings, we get stronger, and it's always better when we push ourselves. So in every activity, how can I do this better? How can I be the best version of myself? My intention for this 30 days is truly being the best version of you, so that if we practice that every day, by the end of 30 days, we are new. We are better. We are bigger. We are expanded. So that's all I got. I'm super excited. So thank you again for coming. Anne says thank you. And that she loves the idea of kindness. I do too. It's so powerful. And when we can be kind to ourselves and share kindness and sprinkle it around, it truly changes everything about our life. So until next time, guys, you guys have been so fun to interact with and talk to, and I will be doing this again for sure. Take care. Bye.